All right, so there's this super cool king, right? His name is Vlad. He's a total hero, and everybody loves him. So one day, he's out riding in the woods, and he finds an enemy helmet. Total buzzkill. He knows it belongs to a Turkish spy, which means an attack is coming. He figures they must be hiding out on this creepy mountain, so he's like, let's go get them before they can send word back to their king. He takes his best soldiers, and they head into this cave on the mountain. But, get this, they get ambushed by a vampire. This thing is crazy fast and just destroys all of Vlad's men. It's a total disaster. Vlad just barely escapes by backing out into the sunlight, which the vampire can't step into. So his life is saved, but he's totally freaked out. He rushes back to his palace and finds a priest. He's like, "What in the world was that thing in the cave? I've never seen anything like it." The priest spills the beans. He's like, "Dude, that's an ancient monster. A man who made a deal with a demon and got cursed. He's a blood-sucking vampire, and he's been trapped in that cave for years. The only way he can get free is if he passes his dark powers to someone else. Remember that. It's a big deal." Vlad tells the priest to keep it a secret so nobody panics. Okay, so a little while later, they're all having a big feast, when a Turkish soldier just strolls into the castle. See, Turkey is this huge, powerful empire, and they basically collect money from all the smaller countries, including Vlad's, so they don't get attacked. So Vlad has to give the guy a massive chest of gold and silver coins, and he is not happy about it. But the soldier isn't done. After he takes the money, he's like, "Oh, and one more thing. We need 100 of your young boys to be trained for our army." Vlad is like, "No way. We're not doing that anymore. That's an old custom. Take your coins and get out. I'll talk to your king myself." So a few days later, Vlad goes to meet the Turkish king, this dude named Mehmet. But the meeting is a total bust. Mehmet won't budge. He's like, "I want those 100 boys no matter what. And get this, your own son will be one of them." Oh man, Vlad is absolutely furious. You can just see him thinking about his options, and he is not happy.
So he just snaps. He pulls out his sword and kills all the soldiers who came to take his son. Just cuts them all down right there. His best friend runs up and he's like, "Vlad, what did you do? You just killed Mehmet's personal guards. He's going to attack us with his entire army and kill every single one of us." But Vlad is all calm and says, "Don't worry, I'll figure something out. I know how to protect my people." And then he rides off, straight back to that vampire's cave. He goes right inside and finds the vampire. He tells him everything about the threat from Turkey, about needing to save his country, his family, everyone. He's desperate and asks for help. And the vampire? He's been waiting for someone just like this. Someone brave and strong enough to take on his power so he can finally be free from the curse. It's like they were made for each other. So the vampire cuts his own hand, lets the blood drip into a skull, and tells Vlad to drink it. He's like, "Drink this and you'll get all my powers. You'll be strong enough to crush any army, no matter how big. You can save your people." But there's a catch. The vampire makes a deal with him. He says, "You'll have these powers for 3 days. If you can resist the thirst for human blood for those 3 days, you'll turn back into a normal human. But if you drink even a single drop, you'll be a vampire forever and all be free." Vlad has no choice. He has to save his country. So he agrees to the deal and drinks the vampire's blood. As soon as he does, he passes out cold. He wakes up in the forest and he can feel it. He's got all this new power. He can run super fast and he can even turn into a swarm of bats. It's wild. So he goes back to his castle and just in time because a huge Turkish army is attacking. Vlad goes out to face them completely alone. It's him against thousands of soldiers, and he just wrecks them. He's a one-man army taking them all out with his bare hands and his sword. It's a total bloodbath. When he comes back to the castle, his men are just speechless. They're like, how did you do that? And he's just like, "Don't ask. Nobody knows his secret yet." Of course, the news gets back to King Mehmed in Turkey. He's told that Vlad single-handedly killed his entire army. Mehmed is like, "I don't care. Get me 100,000 more soldiers. We're going to attack and wipe them off the map." But before they can even leave, Vlad sends them a little present. All their dead soldiers impaled on spikes. Mehmed is beyond furious now and orders his army to march immediately. Back in the castle, Vlad's wife figures out his secret. He tells her to calm down and explains the deal. He's like, "It's okay, I just have to hold out for 2 more days without drinking human blood and I'll be normal again."
So Vlad knows his castle isn't safe. He tells everyone, his wife, his son, all his people, to head to this monastery up in the mountains. He's doing it to keep him safe from the Turks, but also from him. He doesn't go with them because it's daytime and vampires can't be in the sun. He's like, I'll meet you there tonight. But on the way, they get ambushed by the Turks. It's a massacre. Just when things look hopeless, Vlad shows up. He just tears through the Turkish soldiers, killing them one by one. The survivors run back to Turkey with these insane stories saying Vlad is a literal demon, a vampire, and it's impossible to beat him. The whole Turkish army is terrified now. But Mehmed is smart. He comes up with a plan to blindfold his own soldiers so they can't see Vlad and get scared. He just sends them marching forward. Meanwhile, at the monastery, the priest and all of Vlad's people find out his secret. They know he's a vampire now, and they totally turn on him. They lock him in a room and set it on fire, trying to kill him. But he's a vampire. The fire doesn't do anything. He just heals and walks right out. He's so angry, he's like, I did this for you. I gave up everything to protect you, and this is how you repay me? His wife runs up and calms him down, telling him it'll be okay. But it's too late. The main Turkish army has arrived. Vlad knows he doesn't have enough men, so he uses his new powers to control all the bats in the monastery and sends them to attack the army. It's pure chaos. While the bats are distracting them, Vlad charges into the battle. But some of Mehmed's soldiers sneak into the monastery and find Vlad's wife and son. They grab the boy and push his wife off the castle wall. Vlad sees her falling and uses his vampire speed to catch her, but it's too late. She's dying. And with her last breath, she tells him, drink my blood. You'll keep the power forever. You could save our son. Today was supposed to be the last day of the curse. If he could just hold out a few more hours, he'd be human again. But he has no choice. He's crying, but he bites his wife's neck and drinks her blood. And just like that, the deal is sealed. He's a vampire forever. And that old vampire in the cave, he's finally free. Vlad goes to his few remaining soldiers who are dying on the battlefield, and he offers them his own blood. He turns them all into vampires so they can fight. They get up, more powerful than ever. Vlad uses his powers to create a massive storm, blocking out the sun and making it dark as night. The new vampire army just destroys the Turks. Finally, it's just Vlad and Mehmed, face to face. Mehmed is ready, though. His whole tent is filled with silver coins because he knows silver weakens vampires. They have this epic fight, but in the end, Vlad kills Mehmed and saves his son. But then his own vampire soldiers turn on him. They're like, we need blood, and they start looking at his son. One of them steps forward to kill the boy, but Vlad kills him first, running him through with a spear. Everyone else backs off, terrified. The priest shows up and Vlad gives him his son, telling him to keep him safe. Then with all his power, he clears the clouds away. The sun comes pouring down, and all the vampires, including Vlad, start to burn and turn to ash. So Vlad's son becomes the new king. But in the very last scene, we see the priest go to Vlad's smoldering body, and he gives him his own blood. And Vlad comes back to life. The story ends, but Vlad, the vampire, lives on.